For those that are just now joining us, I'd like to introduce the YouTube version to this series, as opposed to the full-length Patreon version. Going forward, I'm going to be filming my full session, warm-ups included, but only putting out a portion onto YouTube versus these full voiceovers onto Patreon. You can thank David Luck, friend of the channel, for giving me the idea of putting out more content onto my YouTube page. And if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see from me, feel free to put a comment below or reach out to let me know. So yeah, stripping the weight back down to the barbell after some muscle snatches so Gurika and I can get ready for some heavy snatches. Sachkhere is the only place currently holding a weightlifting training camp, as I understand it. The senior world team just competed in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, so they all get to go home and relax, have some respite before they have to enter basic prep. I don't know where that's going to be, but for right now, this junior world team is getting ready for Junior Worlds in Guadalajara, Mexico in late November, and only a few weeks after is AO Finals for me. So lucky me, I get to come be with some talented lifters that are just at or above my own personal level. And you can see me doing some abs. I'll tell you, week one is always a tough week for me because these guys are very reliant on their back, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it really felt like my back was going to snap each and every day. But thankfully, I'm smart enough to know how to balance that out, which is essentially just do a ton of ab workouts. I'm recording this within the next week, and thankfully my back is not screaming at me anymore, so I'm starting to acclimate just a little bit better. Yeah, as I stated earlier for the Patreon, Guri's a stockier lifter. He doesn't have to deal with all the limb lengthiness that I get to deal with, but I also believe that means that I have the ability to pack on a little bit more muscle and throw myself underneath some snatches that he might not be able to. Really glad that there's a lifeguard from Ocean City, Maryland on duty for this session, because we're just drowning in the weights over here. Yeah, as you can see, Gurika and I have to chase down weights consistently. I'm sure everybody else has to chase down weights to get through their sessions just like we do. But yeah, something really nice about this training hall here in Sachkhere is that, as opposed to the one in Dusheti, this training hall definitely services a community. There's young kids that come in and just are getting introduced into weightlifting. The coaches give their time to those kids. The one in Dusheti was a bit more of a... Dusheti's a mountain valley town there's not much going on there. So it's a bit of an escape from the world, and the whole point is to just lift heavy. So all the plates, all the weights that are in that gym, they are pristine. It has everything that you need just to get through each of these sessions. Whereas, as opposed to here, I witnessed a barbell being broken. The collars don't necessarily have all the pieces to them. This training hall lives and breathes. It is worn in, and it is homely in a way that the one in Dusheti just isn't, because people come in and out each and every day here. Whereas in Dusheti, I had a German follower reach out to me. He was like, hey, I'm going to be in Georgia for a few days, and I'd really like to visit the training hall. And I was like, I can't help you. I'm A, no longer there, and B, not a part of the federation. So best of luck. And somehow or another way, like a few weeks after I had left, he went and took some photos in the training hall. And guess what? My 182 that I had like left there, because I was told to leave it there, and I wasn't rude, and I even offered to like put it away. I was told like, no, we're leaving. I was like, okay. That 182, the barbell was still loaded on the platform weeks after I had left. So the heavy athletics training hall named after Georgi Asanidze is great, but it's not alive like the training hall named after Lasha Taukadze is. As you can see, I missed 135 twice, and with the Toko cam here, I squeaked out a 135. I was falling behind a little bit from Guri, as he had already worked up to 150, which I didn't capture for some reason, but came back and instead of letting it get to my head, I was able to work myself up to make sure I got 140. It's one of those things where like you kind of have a number set in your mind and you're not taking the lighter weights as serious, but then, you know, you wake up and here I come in and crush 140 twice for some really nice reps. And that'll about wrap it up for the snatch portion of this session. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, do all the things for YouTube engagement, comment your favorite emoji of this week, whatever it may be. I appreciate it all. If you want the full episode, go to bencito at patreon.com. Let people know that that exists. If you can support, I really appreciate it. It's going to help me on my journeys. And you get to hear me ramble like this more often. So who doesn't want that? Here's the last 150 of the session. And with that, sign off and go over to the Patreon.